All right, everyone, we are back with the next episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Jolt, chief host of the show, and joining me as always is none other than my co-host, Avira.
Hello, guys. Happy Friday. Hope you're having a fantastically, beautifully, amazing evening, wherever you might be on Earth. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
And
looking forward to
I,
an awesome show, of course.
yep, you know it. I'm just here. The sun's out, except I am looking forward to what is essentially a 7 day in a row heat wave, or maybe not.
Ah, lucky.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it got a lot colder by me, like just in the past couple days, because it's September here. So yeah, fall is
Yeah,
a coming. It was like 55 degrees out today. What the bonkers,
I
man?
mean, here. It's September. Spring has started, and now it's just like the mid afternoons is going to be, 30 degrees C. So bit by
All
bit,
right.
yeah. And joining us as always is our interim host, Noble.
Time to ask my Magic 8 Ball, how's the podcast going to be today? And the answer is not very likely.
It's about as not very likely as last week, which I do have to apologize for a couple of things, but well, the show was going to go on now.
I should ask, if I got two Magic 8 Balls and they were touching, would that be gay?
Probably.
I
Bruh.
mean, no, it wouldn't be. Because eight, times eight is 64. That's not technically the gay number. No, it'd be fine. It'd be
That
good.
is a good point.
Oh, I love that question, to be honest.
Oh, good. All right. And joining us on the panel once again is Gil.
How's everyone doing tonight? It's always
Oh,
amazing to be back here with more shit that this world can throw at us.
isn't it just? All we can do is just be along for the ride.
Unfortunately so.
Nah, hey, there's a silver lining to everything. You take the good with the bad, and a lot of the times, the bad turns into good.
That is a good point.
So,
You
yeah.
mean that's a bad point that we made it good?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, my brain is now fried because of the whole circular logic loop.
I mean,
But
who isn't?
best not to think too much about it. And yeah, so let's start with a couple of housekeeping items first and foremost. Guys, I regret to tell you this, but it's all over. It's all over.
Oh, Lord.
Avira has been indicted. It's
God
all
damn it.
over.
I told you not to. Oh,
It's
you wooed so
Okay,
hard.
I have the best awoos. They're the most amazing, astonishing awoos in the whole world. Everybody says it. Everyone knows it. They're the best awoos. I've been indicted 4 times for the awoos, and I'm sorry, but well, I'm not sorry. Everybody says that. You don't apologize. Never apologize. So yeah, guys, here's my mugshot.
It's adorable. I like it.
Wanted for $509,000. Yeah, that's right. Don't
Rip
awoo.
it out.
You get a tiny
Wait, wait,
fine, but I
wait,
guess
wait,
I
wait.
awooed too many times.
Avira, where's the 69 cents at the end of that?
That is a good point.
No, it needs more 420.
I want to be classy. I'm not that kind of doggo. I know you guys think that. Everybody think that. They think I'm the best doggo. So I'm not going to be not classy. Okay. 509 is my favorite number. It's the best number. Everybody, even Gina says that. Right? It's the best number. So that's what I wanted. That's what I did. And, no one's gonna find me. I know I'm wanted. Everyone wants me.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my new profile picture on Telegram. Check it out.
I love it. It's just too goddamn adorable.
No, it's you captured it right. You just have that look, and it's got to be asking you if you have that look. Are you sure you're mentally okay with this? Because you got that scary Kubrick stare. Looking down.
Oh man. Yeah, uh, incredible art. I love it. I'm gonna stop impersonating Trump now. It's just the best.
No, we're gonna legalize the woos. I'm
Finally,
back in the
thank
White
you.
House. So vote for me. Vote Evira Nova.
I'll pardon you, all the abuse, those $350 fine. That's nothing, right? You're good. I got you.
Yeah, I wooed a
Oh.
little too hard.
Hey, that mugshot is known throughout the whole world right now. It's iconic.
Amazing, yeah, it's just perfect.
Hmm. Next thing you know, you're gonna have that all plastered over your mugs and all everything else. It's perfect. So the other item that we've got for housekeeping is yeah, just a bit of a what's it called? A trip down memory lane. So who growing up or even today, like was the Price is Right part of your lives?
Oh yeah, it
Yeah,
was
me
back
too.
in the day.
Or the Australian version.
Yeah, I know. It locally, of course, we had our own Price is Right, we were our own host,
Well,
and
I
then you guys
remember
had
just
yours, and it's become an icon.
100%. Just growing up, and it's weird that a lot of people say the same thing. People that are my age right now, in their mid to late 20s and stuff like that. They're like, yeah, growing up, whenever I had a sick day from school, I'd come home and watch The Price is Right with Bob Barker. A lot of people are saying that.
And
A lot of
everyone even
people, a lot of people say that. It's a bit. No, I'm kidding. But no, seriously, like that's what I used to do. Like that's how I was introduced to Price is Right, and he's been around for 35 years.
indeed, even everyone, even to their uncle's orange dog, knows about the show.
Well,
And
Right, like
unfortunately,
I too, like I was in the same boat as you. Like I would come home from school, and then like what come like when the evening rolls in, we'd switch the channel and watch The Price is Right. Good
yeah,
time.
it was fun for families too, because like we would all be watching it together and like be guessing on prices and stuff.
and that will give you a nice sense of like capitalism.
Unfortunately, I believe Jolt is just about to give you guys
The
the
bad
benefit.
news, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah, alas, unfortunately, the host, the iconic host of The Price is Right, Bob Barker, he's passed away, age 99,
He
and
moved to
he
the upper
was a couple
floor.
of months shy of being 100 years old.
Yeah, God had I guess God bought him out, eh?
Mm.
If the price was right.
He- Not the best joke to make. But
Ah,
no.
yes. Unfortunately, he bought the room upstairs.
well, it only cost him 99 years.
To get there.
God damn it!
In all
Oh,
seriousness, though, they were actually planning on doing a Bob Barker 100-year birthday. I was watching some YouTube video about this, and they were like planning on having this whole big event for him.
I guess they should go. They should go through with it, even though he's no longer with us.
It would be a nice
Still,
memorial, yeah, but I mean, it'd be I don't know. I'm sure they have to rewrite everything. But on the 35th
still,
anniversary of Price is Right, even though he retired, he came back. When Drew Carey was hosting, and it was like a whole big deal, and everyone was just so happy to see him. He really gave a lot of energy to that show. He really did. He was very
indeed.
kind. He was generous, and uh, uh, for furries who might not know this, he was actually a very big animal rights activist. He was always talking about animal shelters and controlling the pet population by encouraging that you get your dogs and cats, spayed and neutered, so that animal shelters wouldn't go over their limit and kill stray dogs. So he was very um, passionate about that. At the end of every single Price is Right episode, he would say that little PSA. I thought that was pretty cool. It's a nice little fun fact about him if you didn't know.
Mm-hmm. Bog says I was watching that
Since
since the
the
'80s
'80s.
with my grandma.
Yeah, that's how much lasting power the man had.
It was a cultural phenomenon, not just in Northern America, but throughout the entire world.
Yeah, it's like we said, we had local versions.
Even the Australian version.
Mhm. Yeah, our own host, and what have you.
Oh
But
yeah, I guess it was like a franchise per se. Like
true.
well, I don't know.
Yeah, they
Different
exported
shows
the
have that,
show abroad, and yeah,
or like American Idol. They have like uh,
and that's how we got.
Indonesian Idol or like Japan
Yeah,
Idol or
that's how we got an
Spain.
Australian Idol, and then I still remember how they did, how they did all these idols, and in Australia,
Yeah,
and they just got them all around the world to find out who the best world idol is.
yeah, I guess so.
Good times. I remember those days.
Hmm.
Well, rest in peace, Bob Barker. 99 years old. God bless. He made a lot of people very happy. And I'm sure he saved a lot of animals' lives too.
Hmm. All right. So with that, we are going to move for the main items of this week, which will be a very very gaming centric week.
Oh, oh,
So
Time to get your controllers out, everybody.
yep, mice and mouse
actually,
and keyboards.
actually, your keyboard and mouse, your controllers, and your credit card, because it's not good news though we get up ahead. But holy shit, is that ever
It's very
entertaining?
fun news, but if you have to know how to navigate this, you'll be right. So, to start with, you know, who's heard of or even played the hottest new release, Starfield, the one that everyone's been hyped out about.
Nope.
No, me neither. I've heard about it, but have not got the game myself.
Ew. I mean, I was also expecting like all the mods for people to fuck around with, but I
And
don't know
that's the
about that
thing.
anymore.
Now, here's the thing: mods and that were like the biggest contentious issue because now in the game, you had when you were creating a character, you had to you have a modifier and it's called a pronouns. And now
Oh Lord.
modders came up attempted to put up a mod to that would actually remove said pronouns from your own copy of Starfield.
But of course, I mean, there was just too much to trigger the alphabet soup people.
No, it wasn't the alpha. It was the alphabet soup people to some degree, but actually, who got annoyed the most was the mod repository Nexus mods,
Oh Lord.
and what they did was they would actually delist any uploads of said mod that would remove pronouns from Starfield.
Now, hold on a minute. What effect does this have on the broader community with people who see you in game? What would
Nothing,
this
right?
mod do to them?
Nothing, right?
Precisely. It's just a
I would,
whole
I would
bunch of
imagine,
activism.
I would imagine the people who just use their avatars or even like their own names to either not care about that kind of stuff, or maybe they're just actually trying to prevent political activism.
It's. I mean,
That's
it would have been a whole lot better if they didn't implement the whole pronouns in the first
right,
place.
and that's the
And
thing.
that's
Like,
why they're going back on it, it seems.
no, it's Bethesda. The developers actually put the pronouns in the character creation, and then
Mm.
the modders, said let's try and remove it. Let's try and put a mod in that'll remove it. And then Nexus mod says no. All anti-pronoun mods are banned.
Yeah,
This
let them
kind of
try
reminds
to
me
do
of
that.
this reminds me of the whole Spider-Man thing with the American flag.
Yeah, when they were removing the LGBT rainbow flag, and then they turned them into
Yeah,
American flags, and then people got mad about that for some reason.
no, it was just
Oh
Nexus
yeah,
mods that got mad about that.
Of course they did.
of course it would. I mean, it would have been a whole lot better if they just kept the even the pronouns an optional side. But I mean, even then, I mean, if they knew people were gonna fuck around with, but still, They had to shove. They just had to shove it down people's throats, and
I
even
swear,
then,
how thick are people? Not especially companies when you're allowed to modify the game, or it's made so that you can modify it. People are going to do some pretty interesting things.
And this
And a
isn't even
particular
bad.
feature that isn't liked by, say, a sizable portion of the community.
Oh, this isn't a sizable portion. I think that most normal people, like most normal people that play the game, they don't give a flying crap about this stuff. They just don't. And if there's a mod to like stop your pronouns in your bio and like weird crap like that, no one's gonna really care. They just want to play the game and have fun and just forget about that stuff.
I
Oh,
could
like
understand if this removed for everybody else in the game, but if it's just stopping you from display it from being displayed on your screen, how does that affect anybody else?
Right.
I don't
Please.
know. I don't. It's weird.
It's a little minor thing, and here's the thing: like in Starfield, like when you create a character, you can choose he, him, she, her, they pronouns, and it just is like a, and apparently it's like a has a very minute little thing in on the gameplay. It doesn't really affect anything or anyone. So what gives, right? Why the big kerfuffle over such a minuscule thing?
unfortunately so. But you know how sensitive these people can be.
I'm assuming you're referring to the individuals who seem to completely and utterly not just busting up, but go completely nuclear over this sort of thing.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you just gotta keep their pronouns so that they feel represented. If not, then hey, you're you're a great ain't us, yeah, or a bigot, or a chud, or what else the name that they use.
It's like that
Um,
other game where the idea of happening to strip everyone down and have sex is considered to be the
Oh,
highlight of things. I can't understand. I mean, if you're making a porno, by all means, but if the game's meant to do your other things,
the porn mods, yes.
no, not porn mods when it's actually built into the game.
Wait. Oh, like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, hot coffee, whatever. Cut content that was,
No,
right?
something a little more recent.
Oh, Lord.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Of course.
Yes, I know, but that's a thing we've talked about quite a few handful of times. Although that's Baldur's Gate it will be in a bit, but we'll be talking about that in a bit, especially in light of all the mods here and there. But realistically, now let's put this all into a bit of context here. Starfield is a science fiction game, and let's put on our realistic thinking hats for a minute. Would aliens really care about what pronouns you use?
Probably not.
no, I think
Who's to
they'd be
say aliens
confused.
would have pronouns?
Right?
That or depending which type of aliens we ever come
No, or
across.
maybe
with.
like if you're an alien and you're like you see this weird planet called Earth and the inhabitants, and it's like you're looking at you run a scan on these people and it's like so and so name, he, him, and then you look at it like what's the first thought that's going on your mind?
Indeed. I bet I highly
Well,
doubt. Go on.
aliens would be looking at our planet. Okay, so what they would think is it's inhabited by this species called Homo sapiens, right? These hairless monkeys. They got male and female human monkeys, 8 billion of them that run this planet. Okay, cool. Then they fly down here, and it's like, I'm actually a non binary Zem Zerzem Zay. And they'd be like, what?
They would
This wasn't
probably
in our
Like,
recognize.
original.
are you a different species? What are you?
Yeah.
What? Who? Like, they'd be
Avira,
confused.
there is no FTL drive fast enough in that case.
They would probably. They probably
they
get
would-
lobotomized. Just saying, you'd probably be lobotomized.
I mean,
Right.
like, just scientifically, from the outsider alien perspective, that's what they would see biologically, and then just be like, well, what the crap are these people on about? Like, they think that we're crazy. At least the people that believe in this gender stuff. Like,
Right,
okay,
like
take
is
me.
there?
Oh God, I can't even imagine if the aliens came and they said, "Take me to your leader," and then Joe Biden comes up. Oh no,
And then you
I don't want to think about how that would
Vera,
go.
I'd
Oh
be more
dear.
Oh,
concerned if aliens came down and they asked, take us to your leader. They went to whatever hipster person was on TikTok or whatever and say, "This is our leader."
oh goodness.
Some useless influencer who doesn't know what a piece of shit is versus some fancy
against
food at a
himself.
buffet.
Oh no.
Oh my god. Oh
No,
no.
seriously. I mean, can you imagine a bunch of kids going, "Yeah, PewDiePie's our leader"?
Yeah, right. Yeah, or
Yeah.
like a Markiplier. I don't have anything against these people, but I'm just like, well, they have tens of millions of subscribers, so a lot of people follow them, and I guess to the
Okay, look.
aliens,
Do they even know what the fuck a subscriber would be?
When it comes to mods, the only things I take issue with would be ones that go far beyond the actual game's intended purpose. So, say for instance, if there was a mod that made people in Starfield easier to have sex with, then I would find that somewhat deplorable. But
Oh,
and
you know there's
that's
gonna be.
why.
You know.
I'm sorry, but if your only thought is sex, sex, and well, basically sex, 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 then you probably need to get your head out of your ass.
And get therapy.
But I can understand if a mod is going to affect the use of the game for other people, it being a problem. So, for instance, those auto targeting things in shooter games, that sort of thing. I get it. It affects the gameplay for everybody else. But if it's just affecting what's visible on your screen, how is that offensive? I
Pretty
mean, if you're
much.
one of those retards that want to see the Nazi flag, all the way throughout New York City, I mean, there is obviously something wrong with you there, but why should that be made problematic?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it does make sense what you were saying about when it comes to like personal views. Like if it's a mod for the person and that's what they see, but it's not actually affecting the actual gameplay. Why is that bad? I don't
Well,
know.
for one, you can look at the ERSB, the rating board for games. Back in the day, I mean, those that was created because games back in the day they were quite unhinged back in the day too. So of course, the labeling system of mature and children, whatnot, that would have been okay. However, those fuckers just had to go take a step further and just bully the shit out of gaming studios that they would have to ponder to do demands. For
Gil,
one, just look at Manhunt.
Gil, you
Yes.
have no idea what it was like in Australia back in the day when Steam came out. It was fucking horrific, thanks to one useless prick in one state of this country.
Oh
It
lord.
pissed off the Australian gaming community to the point where if that happened in today's world, that guy would be dogpiled like every fucking second of the day with just the stupid shit he caused. I mean, yikes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you think it's bad in America? You should have seen how fucking strict it was over here. It was psychotic. I mean, Left 4 Dead 2 was considered to be too much.
Oh come on, really?
No,
Left 4 Dead?
seriously. A modded version of Left 4 Dead was released in Australia because it was considered too much.
Mm-hmm. That's because Australia lost a war against birds, huh?
we can't, we
Oh,
can't win against the emus.
yeah. Emus are too much for them. Oh no.
But no, seriously. I mean, what the hell? You want to modify a HUD on your game? What is that going to do? I mean, unless if it's like showing you things that you shouldn't. I mean, if you've got some preference of having certain things on certain sides of the screen, I mean, why would you want to ban that?
Oh man. If they think this is too much, then they could look at the anime side of mods too.
That's the
I mean,
side of
you
the
want to know a
thing where
game that I think's a little too much? Try Custer's Revenge.
Oh
I mean,
Lord.
someone was a sick fuck who came up with that game. Shit.
To get back on track with the whole mods thing, it would actually seem that the real problem at hand here is Nexus mods. Now here's what the head of Nexus mods is has said. Now, about the mod policy on Nexus mods.
Oh Lord.
The side is us. We are for inclusivity. We are for diversity. If we think someone is uploading a mod on our side with the intent to deliberately be against inclusivity and slash or diversity, then we will take action against it.
Huh.
So
Hold
there,
on a minute. Hold on a minute. What if somebody finds certain pronouns offensive?
that
That is a good
that doesn't
point.
matter.
No,
In
no,
this
No,
case,
seriously.
no. They wouldn't.
What
They,
if what if someone wants to avoid seeing certain pronouns because it's triggering, and this mod would help them help protect them from that if it was given the option of blocking certain pronouns?
Yeah, because the average
yeah,
Twitter
but
user can be quite creative with some pronouns every now and then.
I mean, what do you mean offensive? You mean like if someone said, "I'm an Apache attack helicopter," is that offensive?
No, for instance, some people take issue with lesbians for some weird reason.
Oh yeah, they do. They're trying to
Hmm.
erase them. But
So any pronouns that would suggest
boy,
someone's a lesbian, why would this website want to block that?
right.
that's not what they're thinking of. This is the larger agenda of these wackadoodles with their
And
diversity and inclusion nonsense.
here's
That's
the
what they're
last thing
doing.
that the runner of Nexus mod says. We don't want to and won't argue this with you. We've now
Mm.
explained our stance, and we won't be providing a platform for you to distort our position in order to feed an irrational, paranoid narrative. You can do that elsewhere. We won't care enough to read it.
This is not an irrational, paranoid narrative. Yo, these wackos are. What are they doing?
Right?
Their diversity and inclusive, whatever the crap that is. I know. Sorry, most
See,
normal people don't care about woke culture.
this is where the term diversity and inclusion sort of doesn't match my dictionary definition, because it's just stopping something from being visible on the screen.
Right.
I
No, they're
mean,
being exclusive. That's literally what they don't care
they're
about your diversity of
excluding.
opinions. Yeah, they don't care.
Exclusionary, yeah. And last of all, if this policy upsets you, if we've broken some moral code of conduct as a business that you can't accept, then please delete your account and move on.
That's
All right.
actually a very fun thing that some companies have said, and then they tend to go problematic and broke.
But why is our subscriber base shrinking?
Yeah,
Maybe because someone told them to delete their account.
that or normal people are reacting the same way they did with Bud Light. When they see this diversity inclusion nonsense, they're like, you know what? This is not for me anymore. Sorry, bye. And then they're
I'm
like, well, what
curious.
happened?
How many
Oh
animals
my
do you think
god.
got drunk on Bud Light after the whole fiasco?
More than people.
Probably. Yeah, probably. Thankfully for them, they didn't know what they drink, because otherwise it would have counted as animal abuse for Bud Light. Oh, and speaking of which, does that also mean that Nexus Mod is going to become the Bud Light of gaming mods?
True. I mean, true. Like you don't have to pay for mods again, but watch as their subscriber base withdraws and finds other places to post mods, and and there are more people who will be they'll be putting up these mod repositories
Yeah,
in
well,
time.
when the CEO or like someone higher up in a company throws around words like, if you don't like our diversity and inclusion, then you should leave. That's kind of a giant red flag to be like, okay, let's get the hell out of here.
That's a dead
See, this
giveaway.
is a lot of people
Yeah.
forget. A lot of people forget the term diversity and inclusion when you decide to remove something because it doesn't feel right, because you don't like the look of it. That's. But when you start,
It's
if it
politically
breaks a
based.
cultural taboo, uh, that's when you have to look at it a little bit more seriously. You have to focus rules on specific types of things that you want to remove, and not just be, oh well, we don't like this, we're going to kick it away. I mean, fuck,
Yeah.
if I did that with half the things I, you know, went about with, I wouldn't be working. I wouldn't be, in the Raiders, and I mean, shit, I probably would be homeless right now.
Yeah,
Oh.
probably.
I mean, I'm worried
Even
about my ceiling caving in on me at any moment because it's full of bloody rubble. Thanks to our plumber finding out about that.
oh lord.
Well,
Yeah.
from a business decision, if these people were smart, what they would say is, I don't care what kind of mods our customers make for our games. I think creativity is great. Y'all have fun. You do you. And leave your political agenda out of this shit. Wouldn't that just make more sense? Like, yo, if I was a gaming company, that's what I would say. Like, yo, guys, have fun with it. Spread it around. Make us more famous. Give us more money. Like, I don't care. Like,
You,
why do they care so much? That's
you
what's
know,
bothering me, man.
it's even funny too. Is the mere fact that libertarians are more inclusive than the liberals will ever be.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, let's talk about inclusion. Let's burn everybody at the stake we don't agree with,
I mean, seriously,
or we decide to get a stick up our ass about.
like, if you owned a gaming company and people were doing this, I would be, first of all, downright flattered. But like, yeah, yo, go for it. Make some viral, crazy videos. Because
Avira,
that's going to bring more attention, right?
I've watched a number of videos of developers where they've watched games that they produced and opened up certain things, and they've just sort of died a little inside when they see what some people ended up doing.
Oh, I'm sure they would. Oh yeah, I'm absolutely sure because people can make up some crazy, weird shit. But that doesn't mean you have to start censoring people because you didn't like it. I mean, I don't care. Unless they're calling for like legit violence or doing something illegal. Other than that, yeah, well,
Yeah, they'll
just
mod the game as
whatever.
you see fit, right?
I
Hmm.
think
I
it's
thought it was
hilarious. That's
controversial when
great.
Second Life blocked third-party clients, unless of course they got registered with the company
Right,
with
but
Linden
that's
Labs.
Hold
I
that's the
on.
thought that
issue at
was
hand here
insane.
because
This is
yeah, Starfield is Bethesda and Nexus mods are not connected in any way. So
Yeah, but even you were saying about the mod earlier, the whole Spider-Man thing. Like,
yeah,
if I made that game and I saw someone like they replaced the gay flags with the American flag, I would think that was pretty darn creative, and I would encourage that. Like, hey, you know
heck
what?
yeah,
Put whatever the hell flag you want on there. I don't care.
yeah,
It's a
exactly.
game,
But
whatever. Have
no,
fun with it.
but yeah, but no,
um,
Nexus mods can't have
sorry.
that.
The can that can be opened. The issue was is that there were a lot of third-party clients for Second Life that were doing things illegal.
Well, in that case,
Hence
that's
the
a
reason
problem.
why they
Elaborate.
brought it in. And it wasn't a lot of third-party clients that were doing things legitimately weren't blocked. It's just they had to register and say, "Look, this is what we're doing with your game. Uh, can we, still be allowed?" And majority of them got a tick.
Hmm.
It's just there was like copy botting and other shit that caused issues. Anyway,
All right, so
right.
the next little bit while we were still on the track with mods, here's a funny little complaint piece. Here, it's on the side. Same tangent.
Lord.
Stop
Stop.
using mods to make female characters prettier.
Whoa. Really?
Look, I can understand having them like walk around butt naked with big breasts, but what
Well,
happens if some game like really botched a character? Sorry.
Butch
Right.
Dickard.
If
From
you
what I understand, a mod is supposed to modify something to make it adhere to what the person who created the mod or is using it what they want.
right,
Yeah.
it's to alter the experience of playing the game.
Right,
Look,
exactly.
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead had a mod where everyone was basically ponies. I mean, that's cringe-inducing for
Oh
me,
no.
but whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
whatever to beat your
agree with
dicks
that.
off to.
Yeah, bronies.
If yeah, if that's your cup of tea, of course.
By the
But
way, even so, that little child over there in the ad, I bet if I smacked his head, it'd be the Taco Bell sound.
Bad.
here's what the whole fuss was about. Like now in Baldur's Gate 3, the modders have put in a cosmetic mod to make one of the characters, Shadowheart, more, you know, prettier. And here's the strange tangent written by a woman, Stacey Henley, says, you know, almost all humans have hair almost all over our bodies. These white wispy hairs are near invisible until you get up close and see them in a certain light. It should have been praised as a commitment to photorealism, but instead, many gamers,
Oh.
apparently ignorant of basic biology, were enraged by it.
All right, just to hold on a sec. So, how many? Uh, I see this as a bit creepy, but how many
Oh.
guys are going to closely examine like multiple female bodies to see the differences?
No, how many gamers actually give a crap about the body hair biologically on female characters in a game?
And then the worst,
Zero.
yeah, and you know what the worst part is too.
They don't care.
Yeah, and the worst part is all this hyper realism is also counterintuitive if you think about it.
Oh, it is. Yeah, totally.
I
This is
think a
just
lot of people forget that sex sells.
yeah, exactly. That's
It's not so
yeah.
much
This
that,
is why
it's,
this is so silly.
yeah, there's another thing as well. Like there's other mods too. Like
Newgrounds, my precious.
it's well,
I'm sorry, that's just cringe-inducing.
So it deemed unacceptable for women in games to not be beautiful, as the recent swath of mods for games,
like
like
Baldur's
Alright,
Gate 3
this
have
is the
proven.
this is the
has
part where
proven.
things get torn three ways from Sunday because you've got some cases where women's armor is not realistic, and in others it is. And there's always the argument between what's better, something that looks more realistic versus something that's not or
Well, how many dudes that are gamers, like, do you think who are playing this game and zoom in on the female character's thighs or arms and be like, you know what? That hair is not biologically accurate. I'm offended by
Kavira, I'm
that.
pretty sure they just reach below.
Exactly. Nobody cares except for this creepy article that somehow makes this an issue.
Like it's just that this person
This
is
is
basically
weird.
just jealous of actually beautiful women, and and people desiring. Come on, it is a fantasy. You would want a beautiful woman.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
playing a
So
video game, of
I'm
course.
curious, this character, how are they actually supposed to look, and is this character unique to Baldur's Gate, or is it just something from
Yeah,
D&D?
no, Baldur's Gate 3, it has Shadowheart. We'll put up some images so you can
Then
see.
I'm asking if Shadowheart is unique to Baldur's Gate.
Yes.
Okay,
It's the
then they
character.
basically have a decision on how they look, and if someone decides to mod it, well, that's up to them.
Yes.
It's all this hyper realism. Yeah, it
Yeah,
just
it's
becomes
hyperrealism.
hilarious.
Okay.
Ah, God, good lord, what a world! Not to mention the fact that I think that another reason why they put all these hyper realistic aspects is just to overload your computer from just something basic and simple
It's
that
not
could run with
it's
the
not
least
so
amount of
much
bugs
guy
for you
Jill,
to. But hmm,
it's not so much about overloading those sorts of resources. Yes, I mean graphics is one matter, but people want quote unquote realistic people, but the women who aren't all like supermodel thin and have all these like and are like blonde and stuff.
and do you know what the best part is too?
Well,
I mean, sometimes you just overload your old ass graphics card, so you would spend hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars to buying a new one.
it's
Thanks,
yeah,
crypto
well,
market.
it's not so much about about resource usage. It's more about depicting realistic figures, quote unquote
Yeah,
realistic
Lord.
female figures.
And I think that
Yeah.
the
So
people that hire, well, at least originally, before all this woke crap happened, they would hire game developers to be like, okay, or sorry, programmers, make something look really sexy and attractive to the largest audience we can. Most of our gamers are dudes, so do that. That's why you would have all these stereotypically over-exaggerated, sexy-looking female characters in games. That's just what makes money. That's
Or
that's
hyper
what that's
violent.
what it's all about. Not well,
I'll be
hyper violent. Yeah,
honest,
sure, because that's fun. But
I'm
seriously,
torn between this particular mod.
Let me guess. It's between the one that removed the pronoun and the other one that turns the female characters into bikini babe
Right.
models and all that stuff.
The next thing that these people will be offended about was like, well, quote unquote immersion mods. Like you want a truly realistic Middle Ages Europe, so you mod out all the dark skinned people for light skinned, you know, and you mod out all the dark skinned elves for light skinned elves. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Yeah, that is true. Despite the fact that funny you should mention that even World at War, Call of Duty, and even Black Ops One, just to name a few, some of them had quite a bit of historical inaccuracy that were covered in different YouTube videos. But from my opinion, it's a game. You're supposed to have fun with it, so go have fun with the
I
fucking
mean,
thing.
if modding actually does improve your immersion in the game, I'd 100% support it.
Indeed. Oh, indeed. Because yeah, I mean, of course, every Call of Duty fan, what they really, really want is to see their favorite character Reznov in a one-piece swimsuit. Of course, everyone wants to see that.
Right, like let's just put these women that go to war in bikinis and stuff.
Sure, sure, yeah. Let's have all the
Do that.
Soviet troopers cross-dressing in maid outfits.
right? Well,
Oh,
there's
how
that. But you also have just a bunch of dudes playing this game and like, hey, if I can get a mod to make these, uglier looking characters like supermodels that I'm playing around with, I escape to a fantasy world for a few hours, sure. I think that would sell even better. It would.
yeah.
Indeed. Even just a vanilla game, you could have some fun with it. I mean, sure, all the more to you. Have
Whatever.
some fun. That's all the. That's the game's main purpose, not to push some political fucking agenda for fuck's
Right.
sake.
But at the end of the day, where you get your mods from is going to be like the next important piece of the equation. So, like they said, you might want to take Nexus Mods' advice and delete your account.
That and probably just I don't know, get your mods in a different place like ModDB or something.
True. Well, considering what time we've got, we are going to move on to the next item here at hand.
Ooh, just a sec, just a sec, just a sec.
Are you gonna bring out a massive drums like? Yep, he brought out the Karen face again.
DMK Ultra stare.
All right, so we are Unity is what's on the crosshairs at the moment.
Oh
And
yes,
yes, what
Unity.
have they done? They've decided to change the pricing structure on the use of their game engine.
You know what's funny about Unity? There's no E or A in the namesake, but they just manage to make it fit somehow.
Right. So what the change in pricing structure involves is that every time a game that is produced using the Unity engine gets installed, the developers have to pay Unity a small sum for every time the game is installed. That's irrespective if the game was reinstalled or if the game was gone through questionable means.
Piracy.
Piracy, yes, or that, or if let's say you had
Fucking
this
piracy.
particular game on your computer, and then and this is not the individual that's paying this fee, by the way. This is the person that actually made it using this
Mhm.
engine. So,
So you make your own game. Well, guess what? Now you're going dead to Unity.
well, here's the main problem I see happening with this is let's say some indie developer, he makes he develop he spends, let's say $5,000, him and a couple of his buddies, they make this game, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then they put it on, they put it out there, and then it goes viral, like PewDiePie or
Mhm.
Markiplier, or like big gamers start playing it, and then it totally goes viral. They get like 5 million downloads. All of a sudden, they have to pay
5 million out
Unity.
of their
They
ass.
have to pay Unity, like they're gonna be in debt to them simply because their game was popular and they happen to use this engine to make it. All of a sudden, they owe Unity all that money because their game happened to become popular. If they're like some indie developer, that doesn't ride cool with me, man. But
Funny
that's
thing.
exactly what's going to happen.
Funny thing you should mention that also that as I've been looking at this topic a little early before too,
Uh huh.
and here's the kicker too. So let's say Steam or whatever gaming platform you use
Hmm.
to free up space to delete a game to get to some space for the thing. Then sometime later, you download that game again. But guess what?
Yep.
Every time the game is downloaded, not just buying the game once, but downloading it once, you owe the game set amount of money. Download the game
No, no,
twice,
no.
you owe them double the money.
Gil,
Double what?
that's every install. From what I heard, or from what I've seen online, the downloading part comes from if the game is only loaded through the web browser. So if you wanted to troll, say for instance, the game dev, and cause them to fork out a shit ton of money, you just simply start the download process to the point where Unity would consider that to be downloaded, and then you just hit
Mm-hmm.
refresh and start again.
Yeah.
POV, you're Nintendo.
And if you're an interview or like an
Oh no,
influencer,
this
you
is
can
this is
totally
not
do that.
Nintendo. This is Nintendo on steroids.
That's what I meant.
After taking ice.
Oh, I hate this so much.
And imagine if like this was you, like you were using Unity to like build your game, right? Like, and all of a sudden, oh, I got 1 million downloads. That's awesome. But I'm like, oh shit, I owe them $100,000. Uh, what?
So now I gotta
Simply
pay out of
because
their
you used
ass.
the engine to build it.
Wasn't there something about Unity's recent history where the owner of the company had said that Unity itself had been underutilized for financial reasons, for profiting?
I do
That is
know back
true.
in 2012 he was on an interview and he said, "Wouldn't it be great if someone could pay $1 to re-download our games
No, 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 no,
m-
no, no,
made
no,
by
no, no.
Unity?"
It's worse than that. I guarantee it's so much worse than that.
That he said that on the interview. I saw it.
And also he said it again, where let's say you're playing Battlefield, an EA game, right?
Mhm.
But in order to reload your gun, well, guess what? You have to pay a fucking dollar. While there's people shooting at you and reloading for free.
Oh, so basically micropayments on steroids or
Yep.
microtransactions, whatever the
That's
hell they call them.
yeah. Like, it's just basically like an install fee.
An
Of
install fee, yeah. But the
Yeah.
thing is,
So
like, that affects the people that actually built the game. Even if they're using that particular. Imagine if, like, you went through a website company, something like, I don't know, Squarespace, right? You built your website on Squarespace, right? And then you sold $100,000 worth of merchandise on your own website that you created. And then Squarespace comes in and says, well, you owe us a 20% fee
Or
because you're
better yet,
using our platform for your website. And this is exactly what's happening right now.
it might even come to the day that whatever you owed whatever you made on your sales, you now owe Squarespace double that.
This seems
So,
to be what's going to happen to individual gamers, individual
Oh,
Joel,
game
it's
developers.
can you do me a favor and bring up that link I sent you with Second Life?
oh yeah. There's also the thing about with Second Life too.
This is
Mm.
a point for the whole Unity thing.
Right. How now people are getting into the whole multi-tiered subscriptions. Like you
Yes.
get the basic, and then you get the premium, and then you get premium plus.
Oh
So
And
if you
lord.
this
go
is
see
exactly what
more
it is.
benefits, if you click on the see more benefits, now initially the premium was basically paid, and then basic is basically that. Now you got the plus. Now I
Mhm.
take issue with this, where they should have had basic, paid, and then paid plus. By lowering the price
Oh,
of the original
fuck.
premium and then having premium plus and slamming it on top, it would have been more attractive for me to have purchased what's listed as premium. But instead, the premium sort of mid tier and premium plus, this more than likely hurts customers than hurts the business than it's actually going to benefit them.
That is true.
Because if you look at the way it was before, you pay more to get more. And it just, I sit there and shake my head thinking, why? Just why? I mean, drop the. I use a hosting provider, and what they do every couple of years is that they will maybe raise the price by like 1 or 2%. They'll like double the amount of storage, increase the bandwidth, and they'll probably I think once or twice they created another a tier with like a hell of a lot more options, and I'm spending like what you'd expect through regular sort of growth over the period of time, but it's acceptable because you're getting basically what you originally paid for but more, and there are just better options up the ladder if you wanted it.
Right.
In Second Life's case, what they've done is that they've just created another paid tier at a lower price with a hell of a lot less options, and it just rubs off on me in the wrong way. What Unity fails to realize, as far as I understand, they don't actually develop games. They develop a platform for people to develop their own games and then hand them out. What they should be doing is creating a tier purely for those who want to create free games. Then what they'd want to do is to create a tier purely for indie games where, fine, you want to profit for it? Great. Turn around and bring in a system that can do microtransactions if you're so, sexually aroused by that. Why not turn around, do a deal with Steam so every sale that's made from a game goes straight to Unity instead of forcing a developer to fork out for that, because that's just going to add a shit ton of stuff that's going to cause people to pull their hair out. Yes, it will make games go up, but if you charge something like 1 cent per game that's sold, but not for each install, well, fine. And then have something where you gouge the larger companies more. The only benefit to this is that there's this open source option. Did I? Can you bring that
Yeah.
up for me, Joel?
There's another alternate open source engine that people are planning to move to, and it's called Godot.
Yeah, the best
Oh,
way to advertise your competition is to basically, you know,
Shoot
take a
yourself in the
bafflet
head with a
and
shotgun,
gouge
like
some,
what?
gouge the
Yeah,
customer,
like what Unity is doing.
because the in between is going to be the game developer, and eh,
I can see all this. I can see where this is going.
I mean, this is free. This is download it, modify it yourself if you want to, and then you distribute it. And as long as you keep to the TOS that you agree to, knock yourself out. The other thing is that there are people who are going to source out games that they'd be willing to buy simply because it uses this as the engine.
True. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of backlash. Well, there already has been from.
Yeah, like you've seen game developers are actually making threatening, they're threatening to withdraw their games off of Steam because of the whole shenanigans of Unity.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't blame them because they're going to owe the money for
Yeah.
literally doing nothing.
Yeah. And
No, they're
now,
owing. No. There's a reason they're owing money to Unity, and that's because they made a popular game.
Exactly. See, that's and so then why would you even want to bother making a popular game then? Like that's the
or
whole
making a
thing.
popular game on Unity in the first place, right?
Yeah, what
The
the heck?
the best advertisement is, in Unity's case, is when someone makes a really good game and they display made with Unity.
That is probably the best advertising there is to it.
It would be, but instead they're going to try to milk this person for everything they have, or this company or whoever made it, using
Yeah.
their engine.
They
I'm
just had to
surprised they don't
screw
just
the
instead
pooch.
flog people for education. No, seriously. I mean, how much money do you think a company would make if they sold in-person live chat support when it came to game development? I mean, if someone had to fork out like $50 for like a 1 hour session with a professional to help develop, when developing a game, can you imagine how much money a company like Unity could make if they were flogging developers for support?
Yeah, they
Instead,
probably
That is very likely too.
and they
So
can even
that's
like copyright those videos, put them on their own channel and then make money off of that too.
Besides, I mean, if they really wanted, hey, I mean, maybe I could go
there's
down to the store and buy myself a CD with you inside. Oh wait, that's impossible because they want to go all digital.
right. But the point, to get back to the point at hand, though, there is a lot of ways that you can cheese this too. Like, can if do installs of the same games by different devices count as installs? Yes, we treat different devices as installs. So if you want to make someone broke, you get all the compute, like you run an internet cafe and you install a copy of the game on every computer there, and and the developer has to fork out all this money to Unity.
Nintendo on steroids. Oh, speaking of
Huh.
which, hey Joel, could you show the part where they say about piracy too?
I believe that was in the Q&A.
Oh,
It gets
sorry,
right.
even
Like
this
how do
better.
one.
we report, approach fraudulent or abusive behavior that impacts the install in count, like bombing,
Bombing piracy
yeah, we won't count fraudulent installs. So
or install
really,
bombing
they're
either as part
Yeah,
of our
but how are they
monitoring
going to address
solution.
that? How
right.
are they
Like, how
going
is
to
it
know?
enforceable, or how is their
It's
proprietary technology going to
it's
do the
not.
calculations, right?
They're
It's not.
speaking out of their ass.
Yeah, and this is most likely a reactive move because, as you know, like all these game developers had outraged over what Unity did, and now they're saying all of this to try and cover their asses in this PR disaster that they've created upon themselves.
They're just speaking out of their ass at this point.
Right, because it's like, apparently now if you've hit a certain threshold, we'll only start charging you if your game has become super popular, like Evira said. Like 200,000 downloads.
Yep. Then you're done. Like that's it. Like people if it's just some dude in his garage, like his basement or whatever, that made this awesome game, and it just so happens to go viral. Tens of millions of views in like a week. And then he doesn't have this premium package. All of a sudden, he owes all this money to Unity. And it's like, well, crap, I don't have that. So, like, what are you gonna do? Like, that's
Exactly.
it.
Right.
What are they
And
gonna sue
now,
you? Damn.
going going into 2024, like there are a host of upcoming games still that are being produced with Unity engine, and whether they do decide to release it is really up in the air.
Yeah,
Like it's all these,
I would drop out totally if
yeah,
I was them for sure.
because now you got all these concerns, like they have to either weigh up, taking another year or two out to redevelop the game in Godot or something.
You're not
So,
even.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
sorry,
mean,
something I'm confused about is this type of thing has happened before with companies where instead of attacking the uh, people who are producing and selling a product, the the supplying company is directly attacking customers. Now, I don't know if anyone knows about the FTDI chips that were associated with Arduino, but basically, the company that produced the chips turned around and would identify clones that would zero out the hardware ID. So when someone plugged the device into the computer, it wouldn't connect. It'd be like nothing connected at all. And there was a huge uproar. Eventually, the company that produced that chip reversed that and allowed people to restore the hardware ID so the device would work again, but only after a significant amount of backlash. Whatever marketing director or decision maker at Unity who sat down and thought about this clearly failed miserably at their job. And if the CEO basically sat there and thought, let's make
Hmm.
some money, um, dude, you're fucked in the head. Literally.
He
Tell
is
me
fucked in
about
the
it.
head.
Oh well. But I guess that's pretty much where we're at the moment, though. So I guess in the future, that remains to be seen whether Unity will just back out or if the damage to the finger has already been done
I
at this
suppose you.
point.
I suppose the only way for us to know is just to keep on going down this rabbit hole.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's no shortage of game engines. Like people have always, they can always go and develop on Unreal or
Unreal, Unity, I'm not so sure.
nah. The damage has kind of been done already. So
Yeah,
Godot or
let,
other engines.
let's
But
just hope
anyway,
yeah, go on.
that's about the time we've got at for the week. That's quite a bit. So we'd like to wrap this up with a quick closing statement.
I'll go first. It's really sad to see a good person pass, especially an entertainer that, as far as I'm aware, had like zero negative things throughout his career, which is just really nice to see.
It's a life accomplishment, though. That's the thing.
And just dying inside a little by seeing what how far people can go with getting away with shit. I mean, holy hell! Mods are considered to be offensive, and uh, please, I
Oh,
don't want to see another company pull a Unity.
they
Hmm.
just haven't seen enough of it. They just haven't seen some of the things we've seen, and
How
just
about you,
how
Gil?
far. Me? Well, all right. I'm glad that a lot of people, I mean, that you've asked too about the mods. Now, let me tell a little story too. You guys would remember the good old Doom with the gun in the middle, and how the engine has evolved to these days. You can run pretty much all sorts of mods in it, right? Well, I'm pretty sure anyone who spent enough time in that community modity could remember a so-called Moon Man.
Oh my god! Of course you would go for that mod. Yeah, I know what that mod
Yeah,
is. Yes.
exactly. A lot of people who have spent enough time playing Doom mods would eventually understand just how far the human creativity would go if given the right
Yeah,
stimuli.
that's pretty much what that is then.
Oh,
That's
Hmm.
people will get away with anything. Well, at least they'll try.
Indeed.
all right. And now that leaves us to the resident orange doggo bad.
Do us another Trump
I had
impression.
the best mugshot. Y'all saw it. Everybody saw it. It was the best mugshot ever in the world. Everybody says it. It's fine. And I would like to say about Unity, oh boy, I hope they get their stuff together and make it more open to individual developers. Make it easier to get into. Instead of at this point, honestly, I think it's kind of catering to the whole larger corporate companies who are able to use this engine without having to worry about paying fees or whatever. Because of course their games are going to go viral, but
It's a huge
individuals might not be able to do that. So hopefully, they adjust their prices. In
shift.
regards
Yeah, go on.
to Bob Barker, Godspeed, man. 99 years, yeah. The price is right where you are.
He
All
even bought the room upstairs for a good price, huh?
right. Well, I hope no one has any different opinions about me in regards to my four indictments for my woos. $350 fine. It's nothing. It's fine. It's pennies. I don't care. It's whatever. You guys have a fantastic night. God bless.
And as for myself too, I was going to add on to what Avir said about, well, how this is all just a huge shift within the gaming industries. Sure, some rise and fall all the time, but honestly, I mean, they could have at least seen this fuck up coming from more than a mile away too. But at the same time, I mean, it's just that the modern way how things are going is pretty much dictated as the era of shady corporate deals
No,
because yeah,
you must monetize all the things.
even
Gil, there's
mm,
something called the Elon Musk syndrome.
or people who pretend to be Elon
Yeah,
Musk.
that's why he's monetizing X. Ugh.
Well, monetizing X because at the same time,
No, 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 that's not what I'm referring to. Basically, some unhinged, out of control lunatic in charge of a company basically does
No,
whatever
it's
they can
it's.
to
I
make as
think
much
it's more
profit
like
as possible.
whoever came up with this pricing structure is a bit tone deaf, and they're trying to, you know, gain as much money as they could.
Well, clearly the price was not right, so now he's trying to figure
Nope,
it all out.
nope.
Docking it down to simply pure greed is just ridiculous because it's literal stupidity. That's
Right.
it. It's not understanding the market you're in or the product you're selling.
And there's also the fact that the main reason why physical gaming went dead was simply because it gave way to this type of business where
Mm.
people would just,
That's the
yeah,
thing for another time. Yeah.
yeah, they would just, in short, they'll just swap out quality for quantity, low quality
Right.
games for profit.
All right. So, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it. And as always, our episodes are available on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Play.fm, iHeartRadio, BitChute, and more further down the line. Well, now, looks like you basically are going to have a fun time trying to stay alive, aren't you, Orange Doggo Bad?
I'm the most alive doggo. It's fine. It's all good.
They,
Whatever.
they they wanted to kill me, but they
I
never
don't care about
cared.
the fake news. It's whatever.
All right. If you don't see Orange Doggo Bad next episode, you will assume the worst. But
9 minutes.
there we go. That is all.
Later.
This is us signing off for the week. Farewell, and until next time.
So I'll see you guys next time, and until then.
Bye.